So I never thought we would have an Olympic. I was looking forward to Olympic, but I didn't think we would have it based on the pre-planned pandemic or whatever you might want to call it. Jesus Christ almighty. But anyway, you know, one of the observations I made about this Olympic is how the athletes are treated. You know, these are people who are at the top of their game, the greatest in the world. All the nations come together to compete, to show their skill, to highlight their specialties, and you know just how good they are. Most athletes want to have the crowd behind them, you know, that accolades and exhortation, to hear that noise, the roar. That's what adds the panache to the sport. That's what makes it human. Yeah, that's a part of the human exchange for all these years of hard work to build your skill to such a high level, and then to have an audience behind you, a crowd, where you can showcase and show off your skill. You're supposed to show off. You've gotten there. You made it to the Olympic. That's what the spirit of the sport is all about. Showing the crystallized energy of Prometheus fire, and have the audience and the crowd sharing in your achievement. Now you get to Tokyo, ain't nobody fucking there. That's abuse. That's abuse on the highest level. That's human abuse. You know, I don't care what y'all say about TV and all these streams and internet. This shit ain't right. And it's indicative of you motherfucking ruling class are nothing but a bunch of lowlifes. And to see these athletes coming out muzzled with this fucking thing on their face, it was, in a way, to me it was dehumanizing. That's what I think it is. Dehumanizing. It's just like an animal. You know those bull, you have them in the bullpen, you put that muzzle over their face, and when it's time for them to get in the ring, they get in there, take the muzzle off, and they jump up in there, do whatever they do, and then they finish, whenever they finish with them, they put the muzzle back on and lock them back in their pen. That's how they were treating these athletes. They were treating them like animals. Irregardless of, if it was such a bad virus, you shouldn't have had the Olympic in the first place. You shouldn't have had the Olympic if it was such a bad virus. If it was so dangerous to people's health, you shouldn't have had the Olympic. But they treated them like shit, man. That's how I see it. Poor athletes, you know, they train all their life to showcase their skill, and they didn't even have an audience. And you know, this is not to vilify the Japanese people in any way, shape, or form. I think in considering the situation, they took something that was really bad and made something good out of it. That shows organization, discipline, you know, and cohesiveness. Good work ethics. Kudos to the Japanese people. I cheer them. But you IOSC motherfuckers, fuck you all. Yeah, you can, you know, watching it on TV, watching it over the web and what have you, that's one thing. But that wasn't the spirit of what athletics was all about. It was a communal event where all the worlds get together to showcase their skill and be appreciated for what the years of hard work. And for you to cut them down to this low level, it's indicative of the type of people who are running shit. That's it. That's what I have to say about it. This is indicative of the people who are in charge. You all are some low down, no good motherfuckers. Fuck all of you. I think part of it is just jealousy, because you're not as good as they are. Treating people like shit. You know, the next point I want to bring up is, you know, I see this thing all over the web, how Jamaica, a nation of 3 million people, how could they produce, you know, back-to-back athletes, year over year, you know, world championship, athlete champions. And they have to be on using enhancement. Has to be performance enhancement drugs. Same shit all over again. By golly, George, look how fast they're running. That's not humanly possible. Here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with that. All right? Here's the problem I have with that. So you're going to tell me, I'm Jamaican, so yeah, I'm going to be biased, even if it's true. I don't really care if it's true or not true. I just want to see motherfuckers run fast. So let me get that all out so people understand where I'm coming from. If it makes you run fast and it doesn't kill you, fuck it, man. You know, fuck it. Because the whole idea is to run fast. They're like, see how fast they're running. They must be on drugs. Well, they're supposed to be running fast, duh. And if you take the drugs, you're supposed to be running faster than everybody else. But the problem I have with all of this is you're going to tell me a nation of 3 million people who don't have any chemical factories or none of the likes to produce these performance enhancement drugs, how they get hold of it. Look at America. The biggest drug company in the fucking world. Have you ever been to the Midwest? Drugs ravage that whole fucking place, man. You know, years ago I saw one woman. She drove her sports car, expensive Jaguar, through the window of a shopping center. Just drove it through. And then she proceeded to taking her clothes off, her top off, her bra off, and just started dancing in the trunk of the car. And my girlfriend was like, oh my God, she is crazy, she's lost her mind. What happened to her? I said, the woman is on drugs. Took a little bit too much in her coffee. That's what happened. Yeah, you motherfuckers had the nerve to come talk about people and performance. Must be performance enhancement drugs they're using. Nation, 3 million couldn't be that good. You know what I think? Y'all just jealous, some of you. You know? Just want to have an invisible cloud hanging over people's head, creating doubts in their performance. And you all have the nerve to come to vilify as a nation of 3 million people about drugs, and the drugs make you run faster. Well, you're supposed to run faster, but you have forgotten one thing. Drugs don't make you run fast. That's why it's called enhancement. It doesn't make you run fast. You can take all the drugs in the world, and if you don't train, it doesn't do anything for you. It's easy for people to come up with all this scenario about why people win, right? It's easy for you to do that. But you're not there when they're working, running these laps and vomiting up, and then have to get up and do 5 more laps. You're not there when they're doing that. You're not there when they're burning, working their ass off, getting up at 4 in the morning. You're not there, but you can come up with these doubts in your mind about why they're running fast. Man, fuck you. That's all I have to say about you motherfuckers come up with these threads. Fuck you. And back to my original point. If there was such a drug that make people run fast, and Jamaicans have it, how come we're not invaded by now? Huh? It wouldn't just be a tourist nation, it would be a drug nation. Don't give me that bullshit. You see, you want to create doubt in people's mind because you've been sitting on your ass for 4th century doing nothing. It's a genetic thing. Yes, it is a genetic thing because we used to running from motherfuckers. Running from dogs, slave masters. When we got invaded, we had to run our ass off. It's called natural selection. But 400 years later, we're still running. But now we're running on the tracks. And you can't figure it out. So it has to be drugs, right? Get the fuck out of here. If we had the ability to make this type of drugs, the whole island would be rich, yo. Now, take it a little further. What if China could create the drugs. You're going to tell me that China, America, and all these great other superpowers create these drugs, right? And then they brought it to Jamaica and said, hey, Jamaicans, we got some drugs for you. We want you to be the fastest nation in the world. And fuck everybody else. Now take this drug here. We want you to dominate track and field. That's how it works? Somebody explain that to me? Is that how it works? Like I said before, I have no doubt that there's probably performance and enhancement drugs that people take. All of them take it. All of them should take it if it helps them. Fuck out of here. And if you don't want them to take it, don't make it. But you can't have it both ways. You overlooking one thing. When you all make all these assumptions about people, you forgot that athletes, their diets are better, the condition that they're performing is better, the trucks are faster, even the fucking shoes, from what I'm understanding, the thing that Nike came up with is faster now, right? Their athletes are stronger, their minds are much less cluttered because their lives are different. I'm not saying it's easier, I'm just saying their lives are different, right? Diet, science have improved. And you're going to tell me that the athletes' condition and performance is not going to improve along with all these other improvements in society? Are you fucking kidding me? So you're saying everything else should improve, but the athletes should stay the same. Their performance should not change. But you still have to explain why a nation of only 3 million people could be so dominant in such a sport that is so demanding on the human body. Such a small nation. Well, small has nothing to do with it. Yeah, Jesus had what? 12 disciples? Changed the flipping world. Look at the pilgrims when they came to America. It was just a boatload of motherfuckers. And I can just hear the Indians, not those fake $3 or $5. I'm talking about the original Aboriginal people of this land, the great land of America. Look at those boatloads of people coming. Great Father, what are we going to do? Claw and bear, my son, not to worry. They just probably got blown off course. Let them settle somewhere. Give them some food. Oh, they got some blankets over there. Maybe we can have some exchange with them. 200-300 years later, I went to see the great father in Washington. They never keep their word. Those snake-tongued, fork-tongued, lying motherfuckers. Yeah, look at America now. From a small little colony, little outposts. Huh? Yeah, but if you fuck with them now, they either shoot you in the head or bum your ass back into the Stone Age. Well, you know what I think? I think this whole performance enhancement propaganda, this cloud that they have over the athletes, I think it's a shakedown. This invisible cloud that they have and doubt that they have over the athletes, I think it's a shakedown. And I think it's those people in the higher level, those officials and shit, I think they're the ones that create that. I think they shake the athletes down. I don't know for a fact, I don't have no evidence, but you can see, I think it's a shakedown. I think that's how they fleece the athletes and steal their money. Yeah. Jimmy, come over here. Yeah, come over here, old boy. Look, I see some discrepancies in your bloodstream, but I don't take drugs. It doesn't matter, Jimmy. You see, Jimmy, these anomalies shouldn't be in your bloodstream. Now, if you want us to keep quiet about this, how many meats are you going to be having this year, my man? Well, I've been having 20 meats. Yeah, that's a few pennies there. Well, Jimmy, you want us to keep quiet about this? We're taking 2/3 of your money. But I just need some. No, hold it, Jimmy. We're taking 2/3 of the cash. And if you keep talking, we'll take all of it. Yeah, that endorsement fee, bring us some of that cash too. We want to keep quiet about this. I think it's a shakedown. I think that's how they shake the athletes down. I think that's how they fleece them. They don't give a fuck about whether or not you take drugs. They never really care about you because they don't care about the athletes. They don't give a fuck about people. You know, they're muzzling them out with this fucking thing over their face. They can't even breathe oxygen for crying out loud. These are the same people who's gonna give a fuck about you taking drugs or what you call performance enhancement. You kidding me? You know what I think? I think you all should leave these athletes alone. Just leave them alone. And if you have nothing better to do, fuck off. Go suck your mother.